Hello, wonderful people, happy faces. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for watching my content and keeping up with me. As always, I am the sports judge. If you didn't already know, if this is your first time, MVP hopes are in serious jeopardy after an injury sustained to Joel Embiid's left knee during the loss to the Golden State Warriors. I guess as he was fighting for a loose ball in the fourth quarter, Jonathan Kuminga of the Warriors fell on his left knee. Embiid, in obvious pain, laid on the floor, was unable to continue playing, and went to the locker room. That really sucks. It really does suck. The 65 game rule is threatening his MVP candidacy. It really has, in a sense. This basically reopens the MVP conversations. Um, he's not going to get the MVP. He's not going to get it back to back. Not anytime soon. News broke today that the NBA fined the Philadelphia 76ers 75K for failing to list Joel Embiid on the team's injury report in an accurate and timely manner ahead of their January 27th game in Denver. There is no question that he put together another MVP quality season. But the bigger question is whether or not he will be eligible or would be eligible for that honor, and now we know he won't be. I have to admit he was having one of the best seasons we've ever seen. Where it gets tricky though, especially now that he could potentially miss ample time due to an injury, what complicates things is a new feature in the NBA's collective bargaining agreement that requires players to play a minimum number of games to be considered in the MVP conversation. A player is now required to play at least 20 minutes in 65 of the 82 regular season games in order to be eligible for major awards. And if and as we know now, he's not going to be back on his feet soon. And this has prevented him from earning back to back MVPs, you know. And now I believe he's going to be persistently absent and ruled out for a long period of time. And that, you know, guarantees he would be out of the MVP race. Unfortunately, Embiid's injury knocks him out of the MVP race. I feel for the guy. I really do. He was, to me, the clear cut MVP for this year. And for everybody saying he he ducked Jokic and didn't want to face him or get outdone by him, it is a bit suspicious and weird. It was the fourth time in a row he didn't want that Denver smoke. The pressure of a 65 game MVP minimum led to his return before he was ready. The mocking Embiid received for ducking Denver compelled him to return when he wasn't healthy. This was silly and reckless on the Sixers' part. No way around it. You have to protect your star player. If you have to shut him down, you have to shut him down. Downplaying the notion that he doesn't play a big part in this championship run is incautious and rash. The Sixers have displayed a lack of careful consideration of the possible circumstances. Dare I say it, this is just being bold and foolhardy. You know, Embiid should not have been out there on the court on Tuesday night. The blame for Joel Embiid's injury falls squarely on the Philadelphia Sixers and the NBA. Embiid is clearly a strong, physically gifted player on a talent rich team, but the Sixers can't do it without him. I hope he's not out for an extended period of time. You know, with the Sixers announcing that Embiid is out indefinitely due to this tear, it's clear to everyone that his MVP odds are in a downward spiral. The injury bug just seems to get him. He can never catch a break. He can never stay healthy. And he's such an amazing player. But injuries are always a concern with him. Embiid has never played in more than 68 games in the season. It's okay if he doesn't win the MVP. The priority for him should be to get better so he can help his team win a championship. That's all that matters. I see a guy that's hungry, that plays with a chip on his shoulder, trying to be able to do what he can for his team, trying to be available for them as much as possible. I think he wants a championship more than he wants that MVP. The playoffs are the priority. He hears everybody talking about him, what he hasn't done. He wants to win that championship. A championship ring would be huge for validating this run he's been on. And I think he realizes that as well. The hate this man gets is 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 crazy to me. It bewilders me. Why do people hate Embiid so much? You never want to see a player get hurt. I feel bad for him. NBA players are softer than marshmallows, so I understand why this new 65 game rule was implemented. This rule applies to everyone. You're not exempt from this rule. I don't care if you're James Harden, LeBron James, you're not exempt. Kawhi Leonard, I don't care who you are. There should be a minimum of games you have to play to qualify. It's pretty simple. I don't think it's radical. I know I originally agreed with Tyrese Halliburton calling it a stupid rule, but from a fan perspective, I see why this rule was put into place. And for the players to complain about it is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Complaining about 65 games out of 82, I find it concerning and almost fascinating that these players are seemingly so worried about MVPs and all NBAs and not championships. The players who load manage ruined it for the genuinely injured players. So now everybody suffers. A few bad apples have really spoiled the bunch. Nothing is stupid about this rule. Fans deserve better. They spend their hard earned money going to these games, spending money on merchandise. They don't want to play, or excuse me, they don't want to pay money to watch guys load manage. It's one thing if you're legitimately injured, but the NBA allowed load management to get out of hand. You have players skipping games to prevent injuries. The pussification of the NBA over the years is really doing a big disservice to hard-working fans who invest their precious money to see the superstars and the best product on the floor for the sake of their own entertainment. The NBA is a league driven by stars. It sucks going to a game, maybe your only game of the season, to find out that the best players are sitting out of the game due to load management. Players are complaining about risking their bodies? Really? You know what you signed up for. You signed up to be an NBA player. You know what could happen. You know that injuries are part of the game. It comes with the territory. They get paid millions for playing a game and they are complaining. Injuries are inevitable. It's part of the game. Availability is the best ability. The fact that we're having this conversation is mind boggling. And in an era where the game is the softest it's ever been, the players find any excuse not to suit up and play when they have access to nutritional and recovery programs. So there's no excuse. The fans deserve better. These dudes feel entitled. Excuses, excuses, excuses. I don't want to hear it. Basketball is your occupation. Quit crying and go to work. Take your ass to work. If I skipped work as much as some of these players did, I would get fired. I wouldn't have a job. But I get Halliburton's frustration. I really do. I can empathize with that. What sucks for him is all of the healthy superstars missing games for load management in the past years has forced the league to take action. And guys like Halliburton is paying for it. You know, he is possibly going to lose out on a 40 million bonus with a legit injury. It sucks. But these players need to get their asses out there and play if they're healthy, you know? And I really do feel for Joel Embiid. It sucks what happened to Joel Embiid, you know, because this guy was having such an amazing season. You saw him just put up 70 points against the San Antonio Spurs. You know, he one upped Victor Wembanyama in what was an impressive performance. What a great effort it was by him. And to see it go to waste, it's kind of devastating. It really is devastating because I think he was running away with the MVP honors, and a lot of people, they were just hating on this dude. A lot of people don't think he's the MVP, but I do. In my eyes, he was the MVP. He was the leading candidate, and now to see him suffer this injury, and now that he's gonna have to miss time, it's just unfortunate. You know, it's unfortunate that he's not gonna win the MVP. But now you can only hope that he'll be back in time for the playoffs and he'll get healthy. Um, you know, um, I think if you're the Sixers, you gotta shut him down. You gotta let him rest as much as possible. Let him heal. Don't rush him back. Whatever you do, don't rush the process. Don't rush him back to the floor if you don't have to. Let him get healthy because you're going to need him for the playoffs. Because without him, the Sixers are not going very far without Joel Embiid. They need Joel Embiid if they want to contend in the East and if they want to come out of the East and get to the NBA Finals. They are going to need their big man. Most definitely. No doubt about it. Thanks for watching, everyone. I really appreciate the love and support. Do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button. We'll talk very soon. You guys have a wonderful night. Peace.